Okay, I'm here with actor Jared Poulin, who has been in the national tour of Altar Boys, has been a part of Rock of Ages. Why don't you talk a little bit about when you first decided that the entertainment industry was your passion, when you were going to do it full time? Have you decided yet?
When I got into this crazy business.
Right.
I had always been performing ever since like the age of 5, always doing the school shows, the community theater, that whole route. And I think it was probably in high school that I realized, I had been bitten by the theater bug, and I did all the musicals and all the plays and the everything I could do. I was on stage as much as I possibly could, and I realized I wanted to pursue it as a major going into college. So I went through the whole application process, and which was also matched with an audition portion. So it was fun. I ended up attending Syracuse University, and I got my BFA in musical theater. So I was up there for 3.5 years. My final semester of school, I was here in New York, and we have this semester abroad, if you will. It's called the Tepper semester, and it's this theater immersion semester where Syracuse students in their senior year go down to the city and take classes with various casting directors and do various workshops pertaining to the business side of the business, because in school they teach you how to be an actor and how to break a scene down and to, all of that stuff. But that final semester was more of a hands-on, practical application. I have all these tools. Okay, I'm here in the city. How do I do this? How do I make it a business? And how do I survive here? So that last semester was crucial, and probably took off about 2 years of me just landing here on my own and figuring out. I would have figured it out, but it probably would have taken a little longer. So I felt like by the time I got here, I had a great network of not only friendships but professional contacts, and I knew the city well. I knew how to get around, and it kind of took away the mystery of it all. And so by the time the end of that school year rolled around, I was like, I can do this. I can tackle this city. So.
And you've been taking New York by storm ever since.
Yes, by storm ever since. So I've been here for 6 years, and it's been good. It's been good. It's a wonderful business. It's a tough business. I've been lucky enough to work fairly consistently. I've done quite a few national tours. I did Altar Boys. That was my first job out of college.
And who did you play in Altar Boys?
I swung Matthew, Mark, Luke. So I was busy.
You were everybody.
I was busy.
You were everybody.
Yeah, so that was my first job out of college, and that was it was a great first job. It was a small tour, and so it was intimate, and it was we only went on the road for like 5 or 6 months, so it wasn't a long tour. So I got a taste of it, what it's like to be on the road, and it was a great experience. Came back to the city, felt confident, like secure. Okay, I can do this. Kept auditioning and. Did a series of readings and different musicals, and then I did Rock of Ages about 2 years ago. And
what was it like being on a cruise ship doing a show, then touring, like where you have really nowhere to go?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the ship into itself it's like a floating city. So.
Right.
It was massive, and there were lots of things to do. By the time the 6th month rolled around, it was a great experience. But it was like, okay, it's time.
Ready to be
time to go. But it was a fantastic experience. I did Rock of Ages, and I also was the lead singer in Burn the Floor, which was a fantastic show. It's been on Broadway, I think, twice now, and I think it's scheduled to hopefully come back in 2016, so we'll see about that.
And hopefully you're in it.
And hopefully I'm in it. So yeah, it was the same producers, it was the same creative team, as well as Rock of Ages, the same producers, same creative team. So it was great to do 2 shows in one contract and work with the same creative team, and creating those professional relationships and networking, and so yeah, we'll see what the future holds with Burn the Floor. As we all know, Rock of Ages closed a couple months ago. We still have the Vegas company, so that's not out of the question.
And now you have a very interesting take. Now you have a nice balance going in your life between the professional acting side of things, and also you're very into fitness, which you
Yeah.
parlayed into a second career.
I think it's. I'm very passionate about my work as an actor, and I will always act, and it will always be part of my life. I think it's really necessary to establish balance in your life and have something else going on. I just think it makes for a fuller, richer life, and makes you more interesting and more versatile. So I've always been an athlete for years and years. Ever since I was a child, all the way through high school, I ran track and field, and captain of my track team. I played soccer, varsity soccer, and so it's just always been part of my life. I was a thespian and I was an athlete, and I was so happy doing that throughout, growing up. And I kind of look back and I'm like, that's pretty much still my life. I'm a thespian and I'm an athlete, and so I discovered indoor cycling about a year ago, and I've been teaching there full time. And it's a fantastic outlet for me, and it kind of culminates a lot of things that I'm good at and passionate about. It's musical, it's athletic. There's a stage component to it. I mean, you have to hold a room of 50 people. You have to command the space, and you get to create your own playlists. And it's great. So it keeps me balanced. And whenever I go into an audition, and namely commercial auditions, and I have to talk about myself, they always want to know, so tell us about you. I always talk about my work as an instructor, and they always find that very fascinating. So it becomes a topic of conversation, and so there's a nice exchange, and it's something different to say. Oh, so tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an actor, and I bartend and wait tables. Which is fine. But I'm so happy that I found this. I think like I said, it creates a fuller, richer life, and it's more interesting, and you meet a whole new group of people, and I think balance is important. Always keep a nice balance, and keep things in perspective.
And now you have a movie coming out
Yes.
that you shot a little over a year ago.
I did.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. This was actually, fall 2013. I shot a film. The original title was called The Underground Railroad. They went for a title change called Before the Border. It's kind of a modern retelling of the Underground Railroad. It's a feature film, and I play a young college student, kind of the brainiac, the pragmatic one, the diligent one, the one who has a plan and sees it through, which is kind of me. Little anal retention.
Typecasting.
Typecasting a little bit. College prep, New England prep. I'm from Maine, so anyway.
Fit right into the role.
Fits. So anyway, it's being released this summer. It's going to do the film festival route, and we have some exciting prospects coming up, and hopefully I'll be attending some of these festivals and seeing the film and seeing how well it's received. So I'm hopeful. I've seen a few cuts, and what I've seen is awesome. Great story. I love working on indie films because it's story based and it's character based, and it has heart, and it's good. I'm very proud of it.
And that's not the only project you have in the works.
No. Right now, I've teamed up with the group Human Nature. If you're not familiar with them, they are an Australian-based group. They're kind of the Australian version of like a Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. Anyway, they've come to the United States. They have a residency in Vegas right now at the Venetian. They have a show that's one of the hottest acts in Vegas. It's a Motown show. Figure 4 white boys singing Motown songs. Anyway, they've teamed up with Smokey Robinson to produce this Motown show, and now they want to create a show about their life and how they met, and it will be set to Motown music, and we'll see what happens. It's in the works right now, and there's some bites. There's a lot of interest, so more on that later. But it's a few exciting things coming up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out and maybe ready to pack it in because things aren't quite going as quickly as they would like?
Um, that's a tough question.
That's why I'm here to ask the tough questions.
Like I said, I think it's really important about maintaining balance in your life, having a full, rich life. Because if you focus, I mean, it's good to have that focus and that drive to pursue this career. But sometimes, if that's the only thing that you're doing, and you don't have anything else going on, it can drive you crazy. You've got to have that balance. I think that's so key. I think also, and this is something that I just discovered within the past year. Take control. Take control of your life. You know what I mean? Because so much of this business, you don't have control. I mean, you can control your preparation and you know, your talents, and you can hone your skills and your appearance. Yet control the things you can, but you know, once you've delivered in the audition room, you don't really have control anymore, and it's kind of, you know, it's up to them to decide. And then, you know, you have your survival job to keep you going, and oftentimes, you know, that doesn't provide much control either. You have you work at a restaurant, you work at a bar, whatever. I think kind of create control in your life and find out what that is. What are you passionate about, and what can you do to keep that balance and create a rich, full life and have control. And you know, for me that was fitness, and I'm happy that I found that, you know, because it's a nice parallel career. It complements, but discover what you're passionate about, and try to make a living at it. Whether you're, you know, an aspiring photographer, you know, whether you are a filmmaker, whatever you do, what are your skills that you have, and how can you create control and balance in your life? Yeah, and keep trucking on, keep trucking on. It's tough. The highs are highs and the lows are lows. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that there's nobody out there like you. You're special, you are unique. What you have to offer, nobody else can offer. What you do, nobody else can do. And you have to believe that. And just stay tough. Stay tough. I think one of the best compliments I ever received was in college, and it had nothing to do with my performance in the class. It was my scene study class. He didn't, you know, give me all these compliments, but he was riding me pretty hard. That's what they do in school. They break you down and they try to build you back up again. Sometimes.
Probably what your flywheel class thinks of you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, but he said to me, he goes, you're tough. You're tough. He goes, and that will serve you well. And I said, I thanked him for it, and to me, that meant more than if he had said, I think you're a brilliant actor. I think that you have the most amazing voice, whatever. I mean, that's all fine and dandy. That's nice too. But he goes, you're tough, and that'll serve you well. And you have to have thick skin. You got to be tough, and you got to be. It's all about perseverance, and perseverance and control.
Two great words to
yeah.
Thank you, Jared,
Yeah, thanks so much
for taking time to do this. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.